Hello and welcome to another episode of Control Alt Speak. I am Chris Pallett and today I have an absolute delight because I am joined by Eli Wilkinson, the dyslexia consultant and founder of the Dyslexia Awards. Eli, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I am great. Actually, it's nice to stop for a second, to be honest.
Yep, so for the benefit of the people listening, the awards are on Friday.
Yeah.
This episode won't be going out before the awards, so when people hear this, the awards will be done.
Yeah.
But you've got, 3 days to go and yes. Absolute mad.
Yes, but made so much easier because of you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh,
seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome.
You've got no idea. It was music to my ears when you offered to help out. It's like, yes, please.
Yes.
And as you know, I don't just let anybody help.
Well, I'm just glad to have Lorna and Laura outside that can put these boxes together for your finalists. Honestly, the last thing you wanted was me anywhere near that. So, fifth anniversary. Are you calling it a birthday? Are you calling it an anniversary?
It's the 5th awards. That's it. Yeah, it's just the 5th annual Dyslexia Awards.
So, what made you get into this 5 years ago? Because do people wake up one morning and go, I know, let's make some awards?
No, this person drives their friends and family mad for 10 years prior to that. Seriously, we had been to, Katie McEwen and I had been to the education show.
Yeah.
And at the education show they had a trophy stand because of course the kids do sports days and all that kind of stuff. And there was a triple star trophy.
Okay.
And I picked that up and went, look, we could do our own Dyslexia Awards.
Okay.
Oh, and that was it. It started from there with them going, okay, Al. I was like, yeah, but we could do this, this and this. And then I just got sick of the fact that there are so many amazing dyslexics locally who just hide their light under a bushel. Nobody knows they're dyslexic and the skills that they've got, and people aren't proud of the skills they've got. I'm not saying non-dyslexics don't have skills, but there is always so much negative publicity around dyslexia that I like to shine a light and turn it on its head and just say, actually, there's these positives. So in 2015 I had laryngitis, which was horrific because I couldn't talk. And I thought I was going to have to redo everything. I thought I was not going to be able to talk again. So, you sit and you ponder your navel, so to speak, and you think, I haven't done the book, I haven't done the film, I haven't done the awards.
So we've got the book and the film. We'll come back to that.
Yeah. So I literally just got the Twitter name, got the Facebook page, bought the domain name, because I knew once I'd put it out in the public domain, I would have to do it.
Yes.
And then
let the public hold you to account.
Yes, yeah, because I don't like to let people down. I'm sure I have done in the past at some point, but I try very hard not to.
And we've probably all been there, and we probably all beat ourselves up now for everything that we've promised and haven't done. Yeah. Wow.
So that was it. 2015, and then the first awards were in November 2016 at Ingenuity.
I have been to some events at Ingenuity, and as far as venues go, it really is spectacular. They certainly know how to dress that venue up, don't they? Yeah.
It was just I wanted to be different. We're a different kind of awards. We're not a business awards. There are business awards in there, but it's not your typical business awards. It's about people and their skills and just celebrating dyslexia. So
as opposed to getting drunk at like
yes,
most business awards.
Yes, I frown upon that. If I can't, nobody else can. No, it's not that at all.
You can get drunk after you've been on stage.
Well, I don't normally get to stop until about 3 o'clock in the morning because I have to pack everything away and take stuff home. And
I guess that's the side to running awards that people don't see.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm used to just strolling in at 7, glass of champagne at the welcome, hit the bar, go and network, talk to people, finish at midnight. But I guess you don't get to see all the work that goes into setting up, all the work that goes into clearing down. So how long ago did you start this year's awards? When did you start planning 2020?
Oh, well, this is the crazy thing this year, isn't it? I started planning the 2020 awards in 2019.
Okay. The day after you'd finished?
Well, no, actually, about 3 months before the actual awards. Because it's normally planned 13 months in advance.
Okay.
So the venue was booked the lot
Mm-hmm.
However,
yes,
that had to change. And I literally, so I'm autistic and dyslexic. So as much as there are skills with that, the autism for me means that in this situation, because I hadn't seen awards happening before in this climate, I had no idea what we were going to do. I just knew that if we were going to do it, I needed the finalists to have that sense of excitement that they would have at the awards, and I didn't know how we could do that. So a chance phone call from Exclusive Solutions, Nicola and Robert Rust.
Yeah.
And Rusty being so excited. Al, you're going to do it this year, aren't you?
Yeah.
Goodie bag sponsors can still do, and you can do gifts, and that was a hot.
Yeah,
and then after all those conversations, you were my second gift bag person to ring, and I didn't know anybody else after that. Didn't need to.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope next year we can get back and do it in person. And
interestingly, if we do it next year, if it's in person, we're going to live stream it, and we're also going to do a film from it. I'm going to need a film sponsor.
Okay.
So we're evolving. There's no point going back to how we used to do things.
No.
You have to evolve. So, but we will have
make it bigger, make it better.
Yeah.
So, going back to Ingenuity, first venue, what was the capacity there?
So the first year we had 150 people, but there were 15 awards.
Yeah.
From there on, we've had between 120 and 150, and I think that's what I'll cap it as.
Okay.
Because
so you don't quite see yourself in the international centre, 1,000 people.
We could do, but it loses that sense of intimacy and chance for people to have a chat and just connect. You can't really do that in a massive venue.
There's too much going on, too noisy, too loud.
And that's the other thing as well, is the noise. I'm very aware that as most of the people in the room are dyslexic, and there is comorbidity with other things, dyspraxia, autism, it's keeping things nice. And the feedback so far is that it's a lovely evening, that people are really relaxed and enjoy. Even the finalists, most of them are really pleased to be there, whether they win or not. So
well, it's the night out, isn't it? It's that opportunity to network, to mingle.
Yeah.
So 2021, film, streaming.
Yeah. Hopefully live Ingenuity will be there, and we'll have the award ceremony and food and black tie and...
I'm hoping they've got it all sorted, because Father Christmas is booked for my little boy. So
let's hope so. Yeah.
I'm hoping they get it. And then I can't not plug this. So on the 4th of December, the guys have got me dressing up as an elf.
Oh, nice. What are you going to be doing?
Raising money for Alzheimer's.
Cool.
So
so is that in the office all day as an elf then, or are you doing something in particular?
That's a good question. And
can we send you dares and things?
Have you been briefed? Have you been spoon-fed?
No, I had no idea, but I do like your team.
So basically, what they've said is I've got a dress as an elf for the day, and then so people can go and donate now. And what they've said is for every £50 of money donated, they're going to get me to do a dare or a challenge. So you can
see, this is why your team did really great goodie boxes, and I was fine. I'm on their wavelength.
Yeah, so we've obviously got the motorway services down the road. And you can go to Starbucks and go and get a coffee dressed as an elf.
Nice.
So, I'm all for it.
I can't wait to see the pictures.
It's gonna be horrendous. It's gonna be horrendous. So let's bring this back to the awards. Let's talk about the awards. Obviously, we're recording ahead, but we'll be putting this out after the awards. So I'm not asking you to tell me who any of the winners are, but tell me about your finalists, Ellie. Who have you got in here? What type of things are we celebrating?
So we're celebrating educators who support dyslexic students and do a good job, and there are thousands out there. So we've got Special Education Needs Coordinator Awards, Exceptional Educator Awards, and Learning Support Award. And the judges have been blown away really by the nominations. In fact, on all the categories they've been blown away, which is always lovely. And you listen to people running awards and you always hear them say our finalists are amazing, and they really are. It's not normally
it's hard if you've ever done the judging yourself. It is really hard. I think a couple of years back I was doing some judging for the chamber for their it was the environmental innovation. And some of the three companies that we went to see, some of the things that they do really, really is incredible. And I feel for you judging your awards.
Well, I don't judge my awards. I have been the judge for BizMums Awards and for FSB Regional Awards. Yeah. I don't want to judge my awards.
Too close.
I know too many people, and that's the thing, you see. Some of the people are up are my clients.
Yeah.
Some of them are people I've never met before. In fact, with us opening up to the UK next year, I'm actually looking forward to having a lot more nominees who I don't know.
Okay.
Because it is really hard before the awards to not speak to people because I don't want to give them false hope, or I don't want to let anything slip.
Yeah.
So, but our judges are amazing, and I've protected their identity up until now because, having been a judge, I know that some people can get quite shirty with you if they don't win.
Yeah.
Other people are not. Most people are lovely, but you also don't want to give them false hope. So I've kind of protected
and if you're rubbish at keeping secrets.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I don't like lying, so it doesn't come naturally to me. So
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. So our judges, interestingly, they're quite happy to be made public, which is nice. So we do. If people have watched the film already, then they will notice there's been a few references to some of the judges in there, who a couple of the awards were written about.
Yeah. So when you say watch the film, where can the people that haven't seen?
So if they pop on YouTube and go on Ellie the DDC, which is Eli the DDC, and then the film will go live streamed on Friday.
Okay.
Will have been live streamed on Friday, but will be available for people to watch after that.
Excellent.
So yes, there's a few references there, and then on the website next year we're going to have a pen portrait of each of the judges because they do have exceptional skills in their area. So like the Education Award judges, 2 of the awards were actually written with them in mind. So Kate Edwards was a Senko and a teacher that trained people and worked with people and in dyslexia, and a specialist. And Michelle Dawes is just, I can't remember all her titles, she's done so much, but both have taught me, are now my best friends actually, and are exceptional at what they do.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so to have them judging, and then Lisa Powell, who's our third judge, she's a specialist assessor, she's also dyslexic herself, and she's excellent at what she does. So there's high standards with the Education Awards, and that's the same with all the other awards. It's people that are really good in their field. Yeah,
so let's hear about these other awards.
So we also have an Amazing Artist Award.
Okay.
This is about art that moves people. So how does it, it amazes them, it wows them, they like it. It doesn't matter where somebody's hung, where they've made, what gallery they've been in, it's about the art they create. So we don't profess to know much about art, although we do have...
It looks good. It doesn't look good. Yeah.
Well, that's it. Art is subjective, isn't it? And I don't want to think, I'm trying to think of the right word now. I don't presume to know from an art perspective what's good and what's bad. I just know what I like and what I don't like.
Yeah, so is that not
the same? I think that's the point of art, but then I don't live in the art world. So we do have, next year, we have 2 new judges. Well, we had a guest judge this year, Wayne Chisnell, who was a winner of the Art Award in 2017. And he's very well respected, but not on the whole kind of highbrow, if that makes sense. And then we have... an actress who lives in London at the moment. She's going to be, I will reveal all at another time, but she's going to be...
sounds exciting.
She's going to be coming in to do that. So we're going to tweak the art award a little bit next year. Possibly we might have 2 categories, we'll see. So then we have Innovation and Entrepreneur Awards.
Okay.
So that's about dyslexics who run businesses, innovate things.
I think that's what people don't really appreciate is if you look at how many, both locally, nationally and internationally, how many successful business owners are dyslexic.
And the point of those for me is, many years ago I worked with a bunch of teenagers, and on the screen were the pictures of famous dyslexics, and Richard Branson came up. And no disrespect to Richard Branson, because he's done really well and he's a really good advocate for dyslexia. However, this one teenager sat there in his chair, slumped in his chair, and looked at me very dismissively. Sat next to him after a few minutes, just, what's that about? You know, miss, I don't mean to be rude, but I'm doing not very well in school, but he didn't quite put it that way. And then said, now you're telling me I've got to be an effing millionaire. So, actually, no, you don't have to be a millionaire. What you have to do is follow your heart and do what you want to do.
Absolutely.
If you want to be a millionaire, we'll work a way out for you to do that. If you don't want to be a millionaire. And he said to me, but miss, you're more inspirational because you left school with the highest grade being a D in English, and you've gone on and you've got yourself qualified and you're a teacher. And so I just thought, right, if I'm inspirational and I haven't particularly done a lot, then there's got to be people out there that can be more inspirational. So
but you say you haven't done a lot, but that's also subjective as well.
Yeah, right. But that's kind of, but back then I was 28, I think. So 20 years ago. In fact, I was younger than that. I was less than 28.
You're not the same age as me, Ellie. We could be 21 together.
Absolutely, yeah. So it was. So actually, then the whole thing about role models started right back then. So yeah. So innovation, entrepreneur, supportive employer.
Yeah.
About employers that go above and beyond and.
Is there a stigma around it, around dyslexia in the workplace?
Well, there is, definitely, because people don't understand it. They think it means people can't read, write and spell. And it's just so not about that. So having an employer that values an employee and values their skills and sees their skills, which you will know, that's the way you work. You look at your employees and look at what they bring to your company. Yeah.
It's that old saying about you can teach aptitude, you can't teach attitude. And
yeah,
if you've got somebody that's moving rocks and doing great things and just being an absolute legend, well,
leave them doing that.
Yeah, let them get on with it. If they need a bit of help, happy days, fine. It's worth it. They're an asset. Yeah.
So there are employers that do think that way, and those are the employers we want to say, brilliant, great, fab job, keep going, and can you please shine a light on how to do that for all the others that don't? Yeah. Because in my role working with adults who are dyslexic, I get to meet a lot of people who are poorly treated by their employers.
Because they don't understand, or they've just got a bad attitude towards it.
And of course the 2010 Equality Act, dyslexia is classed as a disability because it's lifelong in its effects. It doesn't go anywhere. You don't suddenly have another test and you're not dyslexic anymore.
Yeah. It's okay, guys, I'm going to wake up on Tuesday and I'm not going to have this. What?
Yeah, it's like, good morning, it's gone. Yeah. So it's really important. So it's not just about celebrating dyslexics, it's about saying to those that support us and do their jobs properly, thank you. Because actually, that does make a massive difference in people's lives. It's a knock-on effect that goes on for generations. So...
Yeah, and it just affects the individual and everybody around them as well.
So what have we got? We've got Senko, learning support, exceptional educator, amazing art, innovation, entrepreneur. So yes, so our shining stars, the penultimate awards. They are based on, as Katie McEwen I mentioned earlier, who was diagnosed dyslexic as a kid.
Okay.
And I've known her since she was little. And I've watched her over the years just shine bright, and she would give up every Saturday to come to Telford Dyslexia Academy and be taught, and then eventually she joined the craft session, and then eventually she ran the craft session.
Excellent.
And then eventually she became a tutor, and I mentored her and she started teaching children, and then she became the chair of Telford Dyslexia Academy, and it just, to watch her shine and see what she puts back, not just for dyslexia, she's involved in things like Open Gates Carnival, she'll jump in and do that. She was actually the dog, the outfit, what do they call them? It's a suit that you wear, mascot, that's the thing. Yeah, Okie Dog, that's it, Okie Dog mascot. Okay. So she's done that the one year because nobody else was. She's like, yeah, okay, count me in. So she'll just, if it's helping people, she'll do it, and you mention her name and people smile. So she is who the Shining Stars were written about. So I know that those youngsters out there need encouraging and celebrating.
And it isn't just about looking at pictures of Richard Branson.
Yeah, and then the adults that still go on to do those things in adulthood. So every year, I mean last year we had that many that the judges ended up creating 2 more categories because thankfully all the nominees fell into those categories naturally. And that's the beauty of what we do, is that we can do that. Yeah. Because we're not a business awards, we can say, actually, do you know what? We've got a whole bunch of people here that it all fits into this.
150 people in the room, probably all of them in their own rights, deserve an award.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the hardest thing. The hateful thing about my job is when I have to message people to say, I'm really sorry you didn't get selected as a finalist. That's because the finalists can come to the awards, and actually the feedback from most of them is it doesn't matter win or not, they enjoy the evening, they get to meet other people, they get to be inspired, and they get to know actually they're not alone. So that's okay, but my nominees, I can't fit all the nominees in, and I can't afford to pay for all the nominees. Well, see, the finalists will get a free ticket to attend as well.
Okay,
because
that's very good.
We're not about making money. We don't make any money. So it's really important.
Yeah, Ellie, that's a really lovely thing to do. Just because we don't know what situation or circumstances these people have got going on around them either. So to do this as complete not for profit, non-entrepreneurial, not trying to make any money, that makes it even more amazing.
Well, it's important, and that's part of. So the filming that we've been doing for this year's film has been hilarious, and actually it's made me realise that we need to do a Dyslexia Awards film.
Okay.
Because actually that will give the awards the not kudos. What's the word that I'm really struggling with words today. This is what happens to a dyslexic when they're staying up too late working. Usually very good with words. This is a terrible example. It gives it the gravity, the kudos, the heart that lets people know what it's about. So if they can see the people that are involved. So for example, we have Rob on the film, who he's actually worked with me on a one-to-one as an adult, and when he started coming to see me, he would come in the dead of night. Well, not the dead of night, he'd come after all his workmates had left work, an hour and a half after, so nobody would see him coming. Then he came to an information day, dyslexia information day that we do, and my dad had to edit him out of the photos because he didn't want anybody to know, and we do that for anybody. If they come and they don't want to be in photos, I have a dad who's a photographer, he will edit them out, because it is about people getting that information. But yet last year he sponsored a table, he was a gift table sponsor, and this year he's an award sponsor, and he stood and announced to the world, potentially to the world on camera, that he's dyslexic. And I have to say, I did cry. I was so proud of him. But that's what this does. So if we can get that out to everybody else, that this is
break down that stigma and raise awareness. And actually, rather than look at it as a classed as a disability, but it isn't.
Well, this is really interesting because I've always said it isn't. But I understand why it is, because there are things that do get in the way of you achieving certain things. But then it's about celebrating those skills. So like people say dyslexia is a superpower. That's great. That publicity is brilliant. I'm not sure it is a superpower, but I do know people have skills. But I think everybody has skills, dyslexic or not, and it's about nurturing those in everybody.
And bringing out the best in people and actually saying, okay, we have dyslexia, how do we work with it, how do we champion it, how do we support it, so that, okay, whether it's a superpower or not, how do we leverage
absolutely. And making people aware, again, it's not rocket science, it's just the same with everybody, making people aware of their skills. And making them own those, so that when they go for a job interview or when they decide they want to start their own business, they can and they do and they excel.
And they don't feel ashamed and they don't feel limited or unworthy. And actually,
And all the adults I work with, when we talk about the accessibility software and all the things that you put in place, I explain to them, this isn't a magic fix. It isn't all of a sudden going to make life wonderful. But what it will do on those bad days is make life okay, so you can function. So like today, not being able to find words, I would use a visual thesaurus. I'd type in the word I was thinking of, and then I'd find this would come up on the screen with all the words, and I'd pick the one I needed, instead of having to sit there and just feel really bad or use a different word. Or I'd ask Siri. Which is Bixby on Samsung and Siri on the iPhone. That's my go-to.
So I think what we're going to have to do is get you back again for another recording. We'll talk about the technology around dyslexia. I think that would be,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this this thesaurus. This
the think map visual thesaurus. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, I'm really intrigued by that. So I think we'll have to come back and talk about that some more.
Sounds good to me.
So UK Awards.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah, I'm just sick of telling people they can't be nominated because they're not from Shropshire or the West Midlands. We went West Midlands region this year because we were sick of telling people they couldn't because they weren't from Shropshire. Yeah. And then I decided that actually we're just going to go for it. I'd been told probably wait off and hold off, and do you know what?
I think we've had this we've had this conversation before, Ellie. Just get on with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? That is sat there in the back of my mind. Well, Chris says just go for it.
Yeah, just ignore what Chris says. Yeah.
So my mum and dad will be like, Chris.
Yeah,
next
Chris
year
says,
when I'm like up to here.
Yeah, no, Chris says too much. But
I've spoken to all the judges actually, and I've said to them I'm going to need their help next year. Mm-hmm. I'm going to need them to be, because I filter all the nominations. I don't not put anybody in, but I check to see people are eligible, and then take it from there. And the judges get all of those, and then they sift through it. Yeah. But I'm going to need them to get involved in that initial phase of checking who's eligible and who's not.
Yeah, yeah, and have a screening day, screening committee. And
Zoom. I mean, who knew Zoom was so useful?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Well, I say that I'm video. If I had the choice, of face to face or video, always face to face.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always.
Yeah, but being able to connect with people. Yeah. Although I do need to have a little screen or something, a picture on the wall that I look at that tells me which meeting I'm in. You know, I hadn't realised how I rely on the visual recall when you're talking to someone. It's like, where did I meet you? Which Zoom meeting was it?
I think the trick is that give yourself 5 minutes ahead of the meeting, just to remind yourself. So normally when we're recording these podcasts, Beth gets me a bit of paper and I'm there with my notes. So right, who am I talking to? What are we talking about? What are the questions? What are the discussion points? Whereas just even the idea of recording this was about 3 hours ago. Yeah. So there's no prep or anything like that. Completely winging it.
You're with a dyslexic. That's what we do. We wing it all the time. We're really good at it.
So just a reminder for the people listening, and Ellie, obviously this will go out next week. Yeah. The awards will have happened. Yeah. Where can they find the results? Where can they watch the video? Okay, so if they go onto YouTube and search for Ellie the DDC, which is spelled ELI the DDC, so think Eli the DDC. Eli the DDC. Yeah. And the film will be on there, and they can watch it there. Excellent. Excellent. I look forward to watching the results and seeing some winners. Ellie, thank you for giving up some time to come and talk to me.
It's actually been lovely to stop for a minute. I don't want to get up now.
Yeah, well, we'll get you another cuppa, and then you're gonna have to get back to it. Otherwise, it'll be 5 o'clock again tomorrow morning.
No, I'm going to bed at decent time tonight. You'll be a mess by
Friday.
Too much.
Ellie, thank you very much. To everybody listening, thank you very much. Don't forget to click on subscribe and all that other fun stuff, so you get all the updates of the next episodes. And that's me. Thank you.
Thank you very much.